Hi, my name's Deb. Let's talk about everything that I made in August. This year I started doing a photo journal of everything that I make. So this is everything that I've made so far this year. So I will keep referring to this notebook to tell you what I am making, what I have made. The first thing I made it took more than 50 hours to make it. It was a rug for my living room makeover. I put it right in front of my front door and it looked really lovely there. I witnessed my cat do something pretty gross on it. He's the same cat that made us pull out the carpet because he did something gross on the carpet. He just has gross habits. After seeing him do that, I washed the rug. It did not appreciate being washed. So I don't know if you can see, it might be easier to see on this side, but it's like all come undone and I don't know how to fix it because like pulling it doesn't fix it because there's holes here now. I think I'm gonna have to scrap it, which I guess like it sucks, but it's a learning experience, and at least I didn't use any new materials for this. It was all recycled scraps. What my plan is, I'm going to keep using it until I make a new rug. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new rug out of this yarn. I'm going to crochet it. And I think that that will be better because crochet doesn't do weird things when you wash it if you wash it properly. It's disappointing when something that you spent so long on doesn't turn out. But if you never try anything new, you never learn anything new. So now I know that's probably not the best way to make a rug. Or at least maybe I shouldn't wash it when I make it that way, but I need my rugs to be washable because cats are gross. The next thing I made was just a simple curtain for that same front door. It's just checkered. I got the fabric at the thrift store. It suits the front door. I think it makes the front door look kind of like it's in a diner, which isn't like exactly the vibe I'm going for, but I don't hate it. It's a cozy curtain. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that. It's just a rectangle that I made a channel to put the curtain rod through. Very simple. The next thing I made, you probably have already seen in my room makeover video, but I made these leaf mats to go onto an orange couch that I brought up from downstairs. And I think they're adorable. And I think that this green color goes really nicely with that orange couch. It kind of reminds me, in that window above that couch right now, you can see I forget the Canadian term, but I'm pretty sure it's a rowan tree with the orange berries and then the green leaves. And it looks almost exactly like my couch, the same colors as my couch with this leaf and then the color of the couch. Those are the berries that make birds drunk in the fall, so hopefully they don't hit our windows and die. This one and this one I made first, and they've held up very well. They work exactly how I wanted them to. I can't believe how well these work with how relatively easy it was. Like I just made it up on the spot how I was gonna make these, and it turned out so good. This one, there was a very small amount of fabric left over to make this leaf. The fabric I bought was smaller than I anticipated. I got it from the thrift store, and so I had a very limited amount of fabric to make this leaf, and it's just to go in between the other two leaves so that that space is filled in. I meant to make it like the leaf that the hobbits wear on their capes in Lord of the Rings, and the shape is good, but I accidentally put the veins the wrong way because I was just referencing my memory, no photos, and this isn't the way that veins go on leaves. It's upside down, the veins are, but it kind of makes it look like a flower instead of a leaf, and because it's like budding out in between the leaves, it just looks like a flower coming in between the leaves, and it's really cute. I like it. These were a definite win. 100% recommend, would make again. The next thing I finished was a crochet project. I finished making this log, which you may have seen in my room makeover video. I'm in the process of making 3 more. One is completely crocheted. I just have to make the inner bolster cushion, and one is halfway crocheted. And I'm running out of yarn, which is great because this is all yarn that was gifted to me and I didn't have any plans for, so it's nice to get it out of my stash pretty well immediately. This functions very well. I think it looks like a log. It matches the aesthetic I wanted it to have, and I think it makes my room look very cottagey. The next thing I finished was this bag. It's called the 3-in-1 Bubble Bag by Sarah Merriam. She has an Instagram account as well as a Patreon. I found her on Etsy, actually. I'm going to take you closer to show you the features. It's called the 3-in-1 bag pattern because there's D-rings on the sides, but there's also D-rings on the back here and here and here so that you can wear it as a backpack too. I didn't make the straps the way that the pattern suggested. I just reused a strap from a different bag, so I don't use the backpack version. So I just hang my sunglasses on this back D-ring, and that works really well for me because I bring this to work and I work the evening shift. So I work 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. and on the way to work I need my sunglasses, but on the way home I don't, so I just hang them here. And then there's side pockets that you can put stuff in. I have a pouch on this side and then a reusable bag on this side. There's 2 zippered pockets here and here. I keep my wallet in here. It's one pocket that goes all the way through, but you can access it on both sides. Then there's a slip pocket on the front, and I keep my agenda in here as well as my Kindle. So everything I need is easily accessible. And then in the main pocket, it perfectly fits my water bottle and my thermos for when I bring tea, as well as my file folder, which has all my important papers in it for work. I think that this bag is absolutely perfect. I use it for work. I use it for my personal time. This is something that I'm really proud of because it looks really good, but it also functions really well. I have a few more of Sarah Merriam's patterns, and I'm going to make more because it's really fun to make bags, especially functional ones. And I used denim that I got at the thrift store. The lining is a cotton I got from the thrift store. The D-rings I got at the thrift store. Surprise, surprise. These zippers I got at the thrift store, but this zipper I had to buy brand new. And this strap my sister gave me on a bag that she made me. So yeah, love this bag. Highly recommend. The next thing I finished was the bow pants by Roberts Woods. I think she actually calls them the bow trousers because she's British and pants means underwear in British slang. I made the shorts last month, and this month I made the pants, and I'm wearing them right now and I love them. They are so cool. If you stand straight with your legs together, it looks like you're wearing a skirt, but they're pants. I made it out of entirely recycled materials except for the elastic and the thread, I guess. I used a duvet cover that I got at the thrift store for $4 or $5, and I used a dress that I got at the thrift store at the Goodwill bins. My sister paid for that, so that was free. Fabric I got so long ago I don't even remember. And then a dress shirt that I had upcycled into a dress, but had stopped wearing because it was too big. And so I upcycled it into these pants. So that's like the third life for that fabric. These pants are very comfortable. They're elasticated waist and they're high-waisted, which is my preferred waist height for pants. Has cute side pockets that are kind of low, so they're not super functional, and whenever I put a phone in it or something, they're too heavy, so I don't know how useful those pockets will be, but they are cute. These pants I think are very easy to dress up or to dress down. I can wear them at home as loungewear or put on a cute top and some nice shoes and I'm all dressed up and ready to go. I will talk about these pants more in an upcoming video, which will probably be up after this one, where you see the whole process of me making the bow shorts, the bow trousers, and then I also show a bit of a bow blouse in there as well. So you have that to look forward to. And the last thing that I made this month is this shirt. I made this out of a duvet cover, the same duvet cover I used for these pants, and it is absolutely adorable. I've made this pattern so many times. It is the Vetiver top by French Navy Patterns. It's such a simple but elevated blouse. It is pretty boxy when you're actually wearing it, but because there's curved seams here, it's very flattering, and there's curved seams on the back as well. And then the ruffle is just really, really cute. I've made probably 4 blouses of this, but I've fluctuated in size, so those ones are all too small for me now, so now I have one that fits again. It took me about 3 days to make, but I got the vetiver extension blouse. The vetiver blouse extension pattern included these long sleeves that have these puffs and buttons on them, as well as this cute collar. I really like French Navy patterns because she teaches me new ways to construct things so that they're extremely beautiful and well made. This pattern has no exposed seams except for in the armhole, which I serged, but I could put bias tape there, and then there's literally no exposed seams. The curves are a French seam, which is pretty difficult, I would say. Doing a curved seam is hard, but like there's lots of curves in these bow pants too, and they're easy once you press them open. But because these seams are French curved seams, you're forcing the curve in one direction and then in the other direction, and it's very hard to do that without getting puckers. So you can see I have some puckers here. The collar is finished with bias binding. I use ribbon to finish the inside here. I think that she gets you to use bias binding there as well, but I like how the ribbon looks, and then I didn't have to make more bias binding. I didn't have enough buttons to do them all in the same color, so I just used 4 pairs of buttons. These 2 match, these 2 match, these 2 match, and these 2 match. But I like how the mismatched buttons look. I think it's really cute, and it brings something unique to the shirt. The buttonholes I couldn't do on my machine because my machine's mad at me right now. I don't know what I did to upset it, but it keeps not doing what it's supposed to do, which is pretty frustrating. So I gave up on my machine and I did the buttonholes by hand, and I think they turned out okay. The only thing is I used fray check on the buttonholes. And if you look, you can still see the fray check is still visible. But I don't think anyone will notice that unless I point it out. I've already worn this shirt to work twice. I've gotten complimented on it, and I just love it so much. I'm gonna make more of these. When I was making this, I was like already digging through my trim stash because there's an option to add lace to the collar, and I think that is absolutely adorable, and I'm definitely going to make a version of this that has lace sticking out. I have to wear business casual clothes for work, and this is definitely business casual, but it has my own spin on it, which is great. For pretty much everything I've been making lately, I want to make 2, which is like weird for me because I never want to make 2 of anything because I get bored of following the same pattern twice. This bag I want to make another one of, but I don't need another one. So instead I showed all of the pictures of the bag patterns that I got to my sister-in-law, and I let her pick one out that I'm gonna make her for her birthday. And I'm very excited because making bags is very fun. There's some frustrating parts, like when you add the binding to the inside seam. The seams are very thick, and then adding the binding on top of that makes it even thicker, and so it's a little frustrating to get everything to lie right. And that is everything that I made in August. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some inspiration for things that you want to make. If you're interested in seeing more about Robert's Wood patterns, I am posting 2 videos on Robert's Wood after this one. I have the bow pants video, and then I'm also making a damsel top. I'll see you next time. Goodbye!